Today we are going to talk about inflation and the fall of Roman Empire. This is the title of an article which was published by Mises Institute. Mises Institute is an institute which promotes Austrian economics. Austrian economics the Austrian economists believe that there should be no government intervention in the economy. So that's what we are going to discuss today. But it is more of history because we are looking at how inflation led to the fall of Roman Empire. So what do you know about Roman Empire?
Roman Empire, according to me, is the empire that is talked about so much in the Bible for Christians.
And also in books of history, it has been written about because it existed for 12 centuries in the Western world, then another 10 centuries or 1,000 years in the Eastern world. So Roman Empire is a great empire. It was one of the greatest empires in the world. Roman government was characterized by government headed by emperors and large territorial holdings around Mediterranean Sea in Europe, Africa and Asia. This means, since we have said it was a great power, a huge government, it equally means that it was a superpower. Do you agree with me?
Yeah, it was the superpower of that time.
Of those times?
Yeah.
That was the time before Christ was born.
Yeah.
And the Bible says that Jesus Christ was born during the Roman reign.
He was born and he lived during the Roman Empire. We have evidence from the Bible. Even when Jesus Christ was being crucified, we are told it is a Roman soldier who pierced him.
Who pierced his heart.
Yeah. When a Roman soldier, that means he was a soldier for the government of that time.
The government of Rome.
Yeah.
And the Roman Empire felt threatened by people saying that Jesus Christ was a king.
Yeah.
So they were wondering whose king is this?
Yeah. They feared being overthrown by this new coming king.
So in total, the Roman Empire ruled the world for a total of 2200 years. That is 2,200 years.
Yeah.
It is actually the longest reigning empire in the world.
Yeah.
The city of Rome was the largest city in the world. Do you know Rome?
Yeah.
Where is it found?
It is where the current headquarters of
Vatican.
The Catholic Church is situated in Vatican.
In Vatican.
Yeah.
So Vatican currently is in Italy.
Yeah.
And that was the headquarters of the Roman Empire for many years. One professor by the name Professor Joseph Beden delivered a lecture on the same title in October 1984. That is on inflation and the fall of Roman Empire. So some people think that the fall of Roman Empire was caused by inflation. What do you think from the Bible? What made the Roman Empire to fall?
The Bible has a way it argues its case because it thinks because the Roman Empire opposed Jesus Christ, it is God himself who led to the fall of the Roman Empire.
So this was an act of God?
It was an act of God that the Roman Empire had to fall for the kingdom of Jesus Christ to reign
in the world.
Yeah.
But as an economist and other Austrian economists, we believe that the Roman Empire was fallen by inflation. There is an emperor who was called Septimius Severus. Some of these names are from Latin and Greek, so we will pair with them. Emperor Septimius Severus gave advice to his sons. As usual, the world leaders, before they die, those whose leadership or power is inheritable or is inherited, they give advice to their sons
for
to
them
make sure that when they are alive and they are on power, they continue with the advice of their
and for them fathers. To continue with the legacy that their fathers have left, such that the kingdom continues.
So this emperor Septimius Severus told his sons, he had two sons. One was Caracalla there is Kala and Geta. He told them this, and these are considered to be his final words to the son. He told them, and I quote, live in harmony, that is, live in harmony, comma, enrich the troops and ignore anyone else.
Yeah, because
end
now,
of quote. What does that mean?
Okay, anyone else, now they are saying that for you to remain in power, you have to only the three things that you should maintain.
To live in harmony?
Maintain the troop, because it is the one that will keep you in power, and live in harmony between the two of you. Then your kingdom will be...
And it means this emperor, Septimius Severus, meant that the two sons should live in harmony.
Yeah,
means they
harmony.
should live in peace.
They should be united.
They should work together.
For them to continue his kingdom.
And also he told them to enrich the troops.
Yeah.
Meaning he should pay the troops well. The troops should benefit.
Yeah.
And you know, when the troops benefit, it means you have to use them.
Yeah.
Then the last part of the advice was to ignore everyone else. So the politicians, the senators, they do not matter.
Yeah, even the subjects, the ones
whom you are governing or ruling, they do not matter.
It is you and the top of your government, which is the soldiers, who will keep you in power by force.
Yes, that was a very dangerous advice, as we will see later. Because Caracalla did not adhere to the first part of that advice. Which part? Live in harmony.
The live in harmony part.
He never lived in harmony
with his brother.
Yeah. You see what he did is shocking. The first act was to murder his brother. The second part of the advice, he took it seriously to heart. That one went into his heart. He killed his brother, so he misregarded the first rule or the first part of the advice. But in terms of enriching the troops, he did that to an extent that this matter always asked him to be moderate and to control his increasing military expenditure and pardon some new taxes. So what he could do, he could always introduce new taxes to make sure that he enriches the military. So even the mother complained, hey, you are giving these military men a lot of money.
Okay, to maintain a good military, you will need to have a lot of money. That's now the reason he used to impose new taxes, so that his revenues could be great for him to fund.
So you have to pay the military well. And to pay them well, you must raise the resources from taxation or from other sources. So for him, he decided now to use all the money which belonged to the Roman Empire on the military. So the military, I guess that during those times, you being in the military was a very prestigious position. He pointed out that there is no more taxes. So he taxed the people up to the point where there are no more new taxes to be introduced. So Caracalla did not adhere to the first part of that advice. His first act was to murder his brother. The name of the brother was Geta. The first action he did was to murder his brother. So he has disregarded the advice, live in harmony. And instead he's murdering the brother, so there is no harmony. But the second part of the advice, which is to enrich the troops, he took it to heart. So the queen or the mother always asked him to be moderate and to control this increasing military expenditure and pardon some new taxes. So the mother was saying, please, the emperor, can you reduce the taxes because they are going too high? He pointed out that there is no more taxes. They ran out of ideas on the new taxes to introduce. And then, he assured his mother not to worry, pointing to his sword. You see, he believed in the use of force. So he said the following, and I quote him: so long as we have this, pointing towards this sword, he said, we shall not run out of money. So what do you think he could use the sword to make money? Meaning he could take people's property, people's gold
by a sword,
people's money by sword. If you don't take the money, he kills you. That is what he said. So again, he also said nobody should have any money but I, so that I may bestow it upon the soldiers. So he said no one should have money. it is me to have money.
Yeah.
And the reason why he needs money,
he gives it to the soldiers.
To the soldiers.
Yeah.
He pays them good, nice salaries and the like. So he raised the pay of soldiers by 50%. To get more money, he doubled inheritance taxes, and which were paid by Roman citizens. So I think during this time, during Caracara's time, citizens were overtaxed.
Yeah.
The burden of taxation laid squarely on the backs of the citizens. That is the Roman citizens. When this was not enough, he admitted every inhabitant of Empire to Roman citizenship. What does that mean? You are admitted by force. All people who were under the Empire were officially admitted to Roman citizenship. But before you become a citizen, you had to pay a price. So it is like we Kenyans, the president decides one day that we should all pay for being citizens. If, for example, we have 45 million Kenyans, that is our population, and it's increasing. Probably we are heading to 48 or to 50 million since 2009. If we are charged 100,000 each for citizenship, then we will be able to raise 4.5 trillion. And that's a lot of money.
And you'll be paying the army or you'll be developing Kenya.
If we develop Kenya, the better, but then citizenship will be very expensive. And since the constitution says that we can have dual citizenship, for me I would move to another country where I don't have to pay for citizenship.
Okay.
So we should not generally take citizenship for granted. Another, on that story, Caracalla was assassinated in 217 AD. AD is before Christ was born. Or it was after AD. Now, afterwards, after he was assassinated, we got what we call Barak emperors. Barracks means what? Barracks. Like we have Kahawa Garrison, that's a barracks.
This is a region where the army, a boundary for an army, or the region where the army lives.
Is it like a military camp?
Yeah, it is like a camp, but a huge one.
So a barracks is a military camp where our soldiers,
where they live, where
the military live, they do the exercises, where they do their things. So after Caracalla died, he was assassinated. As I told you, Roman Empire was not a very peaceful place. If you are not killed by war, you are assassinated by your own people. So once he was assassinated in 217 AD, then came a group of emperors, new emperors, who were called Balak emperors. Balak emperors, these are emperors who were brought to power through the military. So what does it mean? Either they overthrew through coups, you know coups, like coup d'etat. Coup d'etat is when you overthrow the government in power.
Or they seceded, because barracks could be very many in a country. And now if you decide that in our barrack we are to be of our own and let our leaders, then you should have seceded from the main country. And
so whichever way
you become independent in your barrack.
Through military action, people did a coup d'etat and overthrew the previous government, then they became new emperors. That was what we called the Barak emperors. Marcus Aurelius was one of them in 180 AD. Afterwards, there was 26 legitimate emperors. That is in the third century. So in the 3rd century, there were 26 legitimate emperors. But within a period of half a century. That is how many years? 50 years.
50 years.
Within 50 years, we had how many emperors? 26. What does it mean? Average each emperor could be governing or ruling in the Roman Empire for how many years?
For like 2 years.
For like 2 years. Because 26 times 2, you are somewhere 52. Like 52. Actually, one point something years, you are assassinated or you are overthrown. All these 26 emperors, all of them died during a period of 50 years.
So nobody could leave his term before alive.
Nobody could rule for many years.
Yeah.
This is a new thing. Ruling for many years is an African thing, where a president in Africa rules for 42 years.
Yeah, for life.
For life. Actually, we have presidents for life.
Yeah.
I'm told Mugabe of Zimbabwe is how many years now?
He's 89.
89 years. Yeah. He's not yet 90 something? Actually, he's 90 something.
Yeah.
He's a president for life. When he went to the United Nations to deliver a speech, he was being escorted and assisted by some 2 people or more, some aides. Let's call them
walking aides.
Yes. When he reached near the podium, he started running, doing just hands like this, but he was not really running. He was looking for places just to hold himself, not to fall down. Those are what we call presidents for life. We have presidents like the president of Congo was called, there is a dictator called Mobutu Sese Seko, the Red. Mobutu Sese Seko was also a president for life. You could not say that there is another, or you could not even imagine the death of a president, even in our own country, Kenya. So, 26 emperors ruled Roman Empire in the 3rd century. Only one died of natural causes. So the rest, they either died in battle or they were assassinated, as we said. Between 258 and 275, there was intense civil war. You know civil war? What is it?
The war that emanates from the people.
The people themselves fighting each other.
Against each other.
For example, one tribe fighting the other one. Or one community fighting the next community. That is a civil war. We have had civil war in this country. Not in Kenya, but we have had civil war in Rwanda before. We have had civil war in Southern Sudan. Where the people in Southern Sudan were fighting the people in the north. And the northerners are mostly Muslims. The Southern Sudan people were Christians. So there was a civil war for more than 21 years. Then the rest died in battle. We have mentioned that. There was, during this civil war in Roman Empire, inflation went up by over 1,000%. That is a lot of inflation. And you know what inflation does to a country? It increases general prices. The price goes up. That is what inflation does. Because you know, for you to pay the army, for you to pay the civil servants and others, it costs a lot of money. And when you are paying a lot of money to the civil servants and the army, what happens? It means you are using a lot of money, there is a lot of money flowing out there. That is what leads to inflation.